Peace and blessings, YouTube. Thank you for tuning in to my channel. My name is Virginia Janai. Today I'm going to be sharing my traits that I feel are necessary for healing and spiritual growth. So before I do that, I just want to address something that was pointed out to me in my first introduction video, which is the fact that I said the word way too many times. I was self-aware that I did say a lot of times, but some people did feel like they had to point it out, which I am appreciative of because I love feedback. I want to know how to get better. That's also a part of my growth process. And I want to become, better at speaking publicly. I believe that's why I use the word so much, because I am nervous while talking on camera, because I never really talked on camera before and I never been a public speaker before. So while I'm praying for myself, I'm asking that you guys also pray for me on my journey, that I get better at public speaking, because I do feel like I'm being spiritually led to do so by God. And it's something that I've been wanting to do for a really, really long time. Share my thoughts and information that I have that has been given to me, throughout the world and with the people that I care about, which are you that are watching. So anyways, to get into the topic, again, it's going to be traits necessary for healing and spiritual growth. These are the 3 traits that I have applied in my life and that I feel is really helping me throughout my journey. So the first trait that I have written down is introspection and discernment. I want to say that discernment is something that I feel that you have to gain and get from God. And so that is something that I had to pray for. So again, introspection and discernment is number 1 on the list. It just means being able to judge, examine, and observe your own mental health and emotional state and how you process what you have observed about yourself. Number 2 on my list that I wrote down is self-awareness. Become self-aware while being introspective, meaning work on understanding your own emotions, actions, and creating the ability to be reactive in an effective way to your emotions so that you can handle future situations better. I say that because a lot of times, if you're not aware of your emotions, you might end up reacting to certain things that wasn't really necessary for you to overreact. You get what I'm saying? And so, or to react in a negative way. You have to be able to accept criticism within yourself and from other people, and being able to self-examine. And so I have that written down, that you want to be able to understand your own emotions, actions, and create the ability to be reactive in an effective way to your emotions so that you can handle future situations better. Also, having the will to identify and dissect the parts of you that are necessary to be operated on in order to maintain a level of healthy relationships or connections with other people. Now, I want to say this, that doesn't mean to go ahead and try to examine yourself or change yourself based off of other people's opinions or based off of trying to gain other people's approval about who you are or recognition from other people. Basically, you want to apply the self-awareness and be able to self-critique yourself so that you can become aware of the things that you need to change for you, not for people. Number 3, I have written down that you want to become effective. So becoming effective means taking back all that you have, number 1, examined, number 2, acknowledged, and number 3, have accepted about who you are currently in life now and where you want to grow spiritually. So I'll repeat that. Becoming effective means taking back all that you have, number 1, examined, number 2, acknowledged, and number 3, have accepted about who you are currently in your life and where you want to grow, not go, but grow spiritually. Now, I want to say this. So now, once you do those 3 things, you put all of that into perspective and begin your healing process by taking all the things that you have learned about you the good, the bad, the hurt, and even the broken, and begin rebuilding and rewriting your character. I say rewrite your character because after all, this is your own story. Allow the things that once broke you and held you captive to mold you into who you are trying to become spiritually by pressing forward and now transitioning into an effective part of who you have become. So I hope that this information is helpful to you, that it makes sense to you, and that you can take some of the traits that I mentioned in here and apply them to your daily living, apply them to your praying, because every day I pray for these 3 things so that I can get better and better at them. I want to get better at having the spirit of discernment. I want to be better at being effective in my life. Being effective in my life to me means what I'm doing now, which is sharing my thoughts and information that I'm applying to people on YouTube, to people eventually in a podcast. Speaking of podcasts, that's something that I've been up all night for like the past few weeks writing down content and ideas that I have for the podcast that I'm trying to build. With that being said, I am looking to network and meet new people to try to help me to, get started on podcasting, as I have a lot of ideas that I'm ready to sit down and discuss. It's going to be some juicy informational topics. Some of the topics will be gender neutral, which means I'll have a couple of guys, a couple of girls, and we all get together and discuss our thoughts and ideas on the topic that I bring to the room. And then there's going to also be topics that's just going to be meant for a guy to answer, or topics that's just going to be meant for women to answer. It's going to be juicy, y'all. So I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really excited about what God's doing in me and the ideas that He's given me, and being able to share them with all of you. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. Continue to like, share, and if you haven't already, subscribe. And pray for me, y'all, as I'm getting started on my journey and trying to be successful throughout my growth process. Peace.